Xiao makes people dream of the earliest dynasties in China. The ancient and mysterious history of the three-starred pile is a book of words. Yazhang, Taohe, Elvisong are the same card. Why are the objects in the three-starred pile and the objects in the two-starred pile exactly the same? What do these same objects mean? In ancient times, people needed to live in a place with rich water sources. Because of the fear of floods, the ancients chose to settle in a relatively weak stream. Yiji in Erlitou is located on the south bank of the Yellow River in Luoyang, Henan. In Yihe, the place in the middle of the Luohe River, it is particularly suitable for farming. Here is the Xiaju, which is currently widely recognized in the academic world and is located in the middle and late period of the Xia Dynasty. The founding of the Xia Dynasty in Dayu was around 4,471 years after the 17th. It has been around 3,600 years since Shangtang was destroyed and the Xia Dynasty was destroyed. Here we use a line to demonstrate, perhaps more clearly. According to archaeological research, the culture of Erlitou has been around for about 3,500 to 3,800 years. In terms of time, Erlitou is indeed in the middle and late period of the Xia Dynasty. So most scholars will recognize that Erlitou is where the Xia Dynasty's middle and late period capital is. But the question is, where was Dayu built? Where is the early capital? The culture of Erlitou is brilliant. It's not just because there's a lot of pottery, bronze, ancient and jade. It also discovered the construction of the palace ruins, the tombs and the earliest bronze castings in China. And the processing of green pine. For example, this green pine is copper, which is used to make pottery. Archaeologists were amazed when they dug it. Thousands of years ago, how could the process be so ingenious? And it's still in good condition. Interestingly, the green pine is copper. It was also found in the Sanxing Dui. One accidentally dug out 3 pieces. And the Gansu Qianshui also dug out the same green pine bronze today, thousands of years later. The only difference is that the green pine bronze in Erlitou is relatively exquisite. And it's in good condition. And the bronze in the Sanxing Dui is a little rough. The green pine is also falling off. You know, a lot of the artifacts found in the Sanxing Dui ruins are burned and destroyed before they are buried. So some scholars believe that the Sanxing Dui civilization suddenly disappeared. Maybe it was the Shangzhou period, when the Central Plains dynasty was at war. After the defeat of the Shu, its ancestral temple was destroyed and the artifacts were buried. This led to the destruction of the Gansu kingdom and the Sanxing Dui remains. Some scholars also believe that the Gansu kingdom is the predecessor of the Xia dynasty. Dayu is the first Gansu king Kanzong. The Sanxing Dui remained is the earliest capital of the Xia dynasty founded by Dayu. Later, the Xia dynasty moved to the Central Plains. Some people did not want to follow, so they stayed in the Shu. The history of the Sanxing Dui is often foggy and clouded. In the Shangzhou period, was there a Fashu? Is the Sanxing Dui the earliest capital of the Xia dynasty? These are all hypotheses. After all, there is no evidence to prove it at present. According to the ancient texts of the Xiangxing, the Zhangzhu and History, the 5 kings' curse recorded in the books can provide you with some ideas. Let's take a look at the original. Let's take a look at the original text. Wang Yuan Yong Shu Qiong Meng Wei Lu Peng Pu. What does it mean? When the 5 kings of Zhu were destroyed, there were 8 allies who sent troops to help. They are Yong Hu Hubei, Shu Hu Chengdu, Qiong Shirong Hu Gansu Jingnei, Meng Shirong Hu Sichuan Dongbu, Wei Hu Shirangxi Maizian, Lu Hu Hubei Shibu, Peng Hu Sichuan Jingnei, Pu Hu Hu Yuan Lingxian. That is to say, when the 5 kings of Zhu were destroyed, Shu Di also sent troops. On one hand, the relationship between Du and Shu is good. On the other hand, a few hundred years ago, the Shangtang was destroyed, and the ancient Shu people were all Xia people. It can be seen that there is no connection between the Xia dynasty and the ancient Shu. This is the jade stamp in the second. This is the jade stamp of the Sanxing Dui. The 2 jades are unique and ingenious. They are not only similar in shape, but also mainly used for sacrifice. This is the jade stamp in the second. This is the jade stamp of the Sanxing Dui. The craftsmanship of the 2 is quite similar. It is said that there is no connection, and it is estimated that no one believes it. The jade stamp is used to make wine. It can be seen from these 2 objects. The agricultural production at that time was relatively prosperous. The ancestors still had the rest of the grain to make wine. It is worth mentioning that the Sanxing Dui also has this kind of connection from the foot to the mouth. The middle is empty, and the top plate can be filled with water and food. You can cook when you light a fire. So you see, the hot pot cooked while eating. Has it been passed down from the ancient Shu people? Before the Sanxing Dui site was excavated by archaeologists, the civilization of the Central Plains was flourishing. Since ancient times, typically regarded as the ordered Chinese. Who can conquer the Central Plains, who can rule the world? After the reconstruction of the Sanxing Dui site, people gradually understood. Thousands of years ago, the ancient Shu civilization and the Central Plains civilization of the Yangtze River and the Yellow River. may be interacted through war, marriage, alliance, trade, etc. and gradually integrated with other geopolitical cultures. Baichuan will flow, will eventually accumulate together and pass down to this day. We have formed this diverse and brilliant Chinese civilization together. In the next issue, the captain will continue to tell you about the Sanxing Dui.
三星堆